Okay, picture this. You just booked a caterer for your big event, and somewhere between the tasting and the deposit, someone handed you a box of food and said, "Just heat it up." That sentence right there is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Here is the thing most people do not realize. When a vendor packages food for later reheating, they are basically writing you a contract in sauce form. Every choice they make, from the container to the sauce ratio, is a quiet instruction on how not to ruin what they spent hours making. Most boxed meals from caterers are cooked to about 90% doneness before they ever leave the kitchen. That last 10% is your job, and yes, they are absolutely judging you from a distance. Reheating instructions are not just polite suggestions, they are food safety law wearing a friendly font. The United States Department of Agriculture says food needs to hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit internally to be safe, and your caterer knows this better than you know your own oven. Here is where it gets spicy, literally. Different proteins have wildly different tolerances, meaning chicken forgives you a little, but fish absolutely does not. If a vendor gives you a window like reheat at 325 for 20 to 25 minutes, that range exists because your oven lies to you, and they already factored that in. Holding tolerances are the unsung heroes of catering, and almost nobody talks about them. A holding tolerance is basically how long food can sit at a safe temperature, usually between 140 and 165 degrees, without becoming a science experiment. Chafing dishes, warming trays, and those little sterno cans under a hotel pan are not just fancy buffet decoration. They are the life support system keeping your food in what the industry calls the safe zone, which sounds dramatic but is genuinely the difference between a great party and a lawsuit. Good vendors will give you a do not open until window, which is their way of saying the steam inside that container is still doing real work. Cracking that lid 20 minutes early is like opening the oven in the middle of baking a cake. Everything just sighs and gives up. Some caterers actually build cooling time into their delivery math, accounting for the fact that food drops temperature during transit. So when instructions say, let rest 30 minutes then reheat, that rest period is recalibrating the thermal balance, not padding time, so you can stress eat the garnish. There is a real human behavior pattern at events where someone assumes that hotter always means better and cranks everything to 450 degrees. That person is wrong. That person has probably served you crusty pasta at a work lunch before, and the caterer quietly knew this person existed when they wrote "Do not exceed 350" in bold. Community feedback from event hosts consistently shows that the number one mistake is reheating everything at once instead of in batches timed to serving. If your event runs for 3 hours, food reheated at minute 1 will be defeated, sad and unrecognizable by minute 9. Stagger it like a DJ reading the room. A lot of vendors now include QR codes or printed cards with their boxed meals that walk you through the process step by step, because experience has taught them that a phone call at 6 p.m. asking "Is gray chicken okay?" is nobody's favorite. The best vendors over-communicate because they know silence gets interpreted creatively. Here is the beautiful irony. The vendor who seems overly detailed with their instruction sheet is actually giving you a gift. Every specific note, like add 2 tablespoons of water before reheating, is a lesson learned from one heartbreaking buffet they would rather forget. At the end of the day, the vendor's job ends at your door, but their reputation rides entirely on how your oven performs. Respecting those instructions is not just courtesy, it is how you honor the food, the people eating it, and the person who got up at 5 a.m. to make it. If you are curious about how we help connect event hosts with vendors who actually explain all of this stuff up front, check out the links in the description. You might be surprised what a little transparency can do for your next event.